That's a really good question.
I thought about wearing it, bling.
Wrestling's pretty good. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Like Frank Castle was in my bones.
Like, you know what, I can't look at this thing.
And the things that I saw in him and that he saw in me too.
When you play a character like Dwight, who has an edge and can be a little unhinged, is that fun and freeing for you, or does it get a little dicey sometimes to be in that headspace?
Actually, it's almost a natural state of mine. To tell you the truth, I'm serious. I'm trying to play this character really off kilter, but sort of how I am. I tend to joke around. I tend to be a little irreverent in my life. People always think I'm like either Rocky or Rambo. I'm very somber, but it's what you see in Dwight is about as close as you're ever going to see to my personality. So I thought I'd gamble with that because I didn't know if it was going to work. We had two different camps. Some said, maybe you should be more foreboding. And I said, I'm not going to be foreboding at all. I want to be a little like you cannot figure exactly what's going to happen next with this guy.
You worked with James Gunn. I'm just curious what your reaction was when you hear that he's going to be the co-CEO of DC, and just what you think of him as a filmmaker.
I think of him as a great filmmaker. I talk about it all the time. I said, I don't know. I consider myself pretty good as a director, but I couldn't do what he does because it's so technical and it's so time consuming. And I think he's going to be an amazing asset. When
you look back now at the iconic runs that you and Arnold had at the same time when you guys are both making pictures, right. Late 80s through the 90s, was that a competition where you guys pushed each other to be at your best, you think?
Yeah, we really disliked each other immensely. And because this may sound a little vain, but I think we were pioneering a kind of genre at that time. And it hasn't been seen since, really. So the competition, because of his nature, he is very competitive, and so am I. And I just thought it actually helped. But off screen, we were still competitive, and that was not a healthy thing at all. But we've become really good friends.
How much of a challenge? Obviously, you're not known for episodic television, so how much of a challenge was doing that, and how is that different for you?
It's very different. First of all, it's incredibly time intensive. So I have a great deal of sympathy for people that do that. Should I say empathy? But I don't think there's a choice anymore. The kinds of films that I like to do, they're not making anymore. So this seems to be the only venue. And it's actually a very lucrative one for the studio. And I'm happy because it just allows me to do something that would be impossible as a feature.